Good day, everyone. This is Sarul Marangarota. So for today, we are going to tackle about the Filipino cultural heritage, which is our lesson for today. So let's begin with the introductory of the lesson. Heritage is defined with different shades and meanings. It can be monuments and sites that embody the cultural, political, economic, or social history of the community. To date, the UNESCO World Heritage List includes 890 properties forming part of the cultural and natural heritage, which the World Heritage Committee considered as having outstanding universal value. This includes 689 cultural, 176 natural, and 25 mixed properties in 148 states properties. So, let's talk about the famous World Heritage Sites in the Philippines, which is also known and popular nowadays. So, let's talk about the famous World Heritage Sites in the Philippines, which is also known and popular nowadays. So, which these are first, the historic town of Vegan, 1999. Rise the Races of the Philippines Cordilleras from 1995. Also, the Baroque Churches of the Philippines, which is 1993. From Manila, Santa Maria Pao and Miagao. And also the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park from 1999. And also the last one, to Bataha Reef Marine Park from 1993. So, what is heritage? So let's dive to know about what is heritage. It is the cultivation of cultural patrimony according to Christopher Tonard, and also according to Graham Davidson. Heritage can also state the property which parents handed down to their progeny and can also refer to an intellectual or spiritual legacy. And also, it is as much about people as it is about relics and the challenges to balance preservation with modern day realities, according to Leo Huan. So, what is heritage? Heritage is our legacy from the past, what we live with today, and what we pass on to future generation. And also, heritage or pamana. It's anything that one values. It may be a tangible or intangible thing that is worth cherishing and nurturing. And it is the manifestation of our nation development through history, and it embodies our unique cultural identity. So, the next reporter will be tackled the dimension of heritage. So, I will give the floor to her.
So now, let's proceed to the dimension of heritage. It was divided into two types. So at the center, it was the intangible heritage, influenced by people, time, and setting. And in the outer layer is the tangible heritage, which is shaped by and reflects the intangible aspects. So together, they show how heritage is formed through both physical objects and human experiences. So in this slide is the intangible heritage, which refers to aspects of culture that cannot be physically touched but are passed down through generation. It includes traditions, which are the oral and written stories or customs. Second is the costume, or the traditional clothing. Third is the values, shared beliefs and morals. And lastly, trade and skills, or the cultural knowledge and practices in work or craft. So these elements are key parts of the community's identity and help preserve cultural continuity. So let's proceed to the next slide, which is the tangible heritage. So it includes physical, man-made elements of culture that can be seen and touched. These are important for preserving history and identity. It includes cultural landscape, where are areas shaped by human interaction with nature, and the second is archaeological sites, location of historical remains. Next is the historic urban site or the heritage group, old towns or communities with cultural values. And lastly, monuments, buildings or structures such as statues, temples, and landmarks. These physical items serve as lasting symbols of communities or nations' heritage.
These are the examples of Filipino cultural heritage. Next is the cultural heritage under pressure. This outlines the pressure facing Filipino cultural heritage. First is the unprecedented growth and change in Asia. Rapid development and modernization can threaten traditional ways of life. Next is the pressure from competing high value activities. Economic pressure may overshadow the preservation of cultural sites or practices. Next, impact of major infrastructure programs. Construction projects can damage or destroy historical sites. Environmental pressure. Climate change and environmental degradation can affect cultural landscapes. Next, carrying capacity. The limits of resources and space can impact the sustainability of cultural activities. Let us proceed to the value of heritage. This emphasizes the intrinsic value of cultural heritage. Quoting the World Heritage Commission or the UNESCO, it highlights the importance of heritage for life and inspiration because cultural heritage provides meaning and direction. Next is national, regional, and local identity. Heritage strengthens a sense of belonging and community. Last is education and acculturation of the young. Heritage plays a vital role in passing down cultural values.
Let's talk about the issue of the Filipino cultural heritage. The press release titled Ligarda Champions Cultural Heritage and Ingenuity in Celebration of National Arts Month 2025 highlights Senator Lauren Legarda's advocacy for Philippines arts and culture during the country's National Arts Month in February 2025. As the chair of the Senate Committee on Culture and the Arts, Legarda emphasizes the integral role of culture and the arts in nation building, viewing them as the heartbeat of our nation that preserve the wisdom of ancestors and inspire future generations. Legarda has been instrumental in integrating culture and arts into the national agenda, establishing the Senate Committee on Culture and the Arts as a standalone committee.
Good day, everyone. I'm Alagia Dominica G. Plañas, and here's the impact on the society. So first, positive cultural identity. Promoting heritage foster national pride and unity, especially among the youth. Second, preservation of traditions. It helps protect indigenous practices, languages, and beliefs that are risk of disappearing. Lastly, education and awareness. Cultural programs raise awareness of Filipino values, history, and artistry.
I'm Rosalind O. Pregonor, and I will be tackled about the impact on economy, both to creative industries, supporting local artists, weavers, and cultural workers, stimulates livelihood and employment. Cultural tourism, promoting heritage, sites, and traditions can attract both local and foreign tourists, benefiting local economies. Support for MSMEs, indigenous products, crafts, and fabrics through the Philippine Tropical Fabrics Law open opportunities for micro and small enterprises.
Now let us proceed to the impact on politics. So the impact on politics is policy development, decentralized governance, and national unity. Policy development because it shows how culture is influencing legislative priorities. Example, cultural mapping law. Decentralized governance because it is encouraging LGUs to take part in heritage preservation, promotes more grassroots level political participation. Last is national unity. Cultural advocacy reduces regional divides by recognizing and honoring diverse identities. Next is the possible solutions and actions based from what we gather. This is the possible solutions and actions. First is the full implementation of cultural laws, increasing funding for cultural projects, public private partners, and incorporate cultural. And last is the digital documentation and promotion. First is the full implementation of cultural laws. Ensure local government units comply with cultural mapping and heritage conservation. Next is the increased funding for cultural projects. It allocate higher budget to arts, museums, schools, and indigenous communities. Next is the public-private partnerships. It collaborate with NGOs, media, and business to support cultural preservation. Next is incorporate cultural education in schools, integrate local history, language, and traditions into the basic education. Next is digital documentation and promotion. Use modern technology to achieve and promote Philippine cultural globally.